Welcome to the Really Likable Geeks podcast. I'm Steve.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Stuart.
And this is the podcast where we talk about nerd stuff and things that keep you from going outside, like video games, comic books, anime, and other nerd things alike. This episode of the Really Likable Geeks podcast is brought to you by Audible. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast.
You're the best.
And this time, Stuart's not doing the book of the week. I am. And our book of the week is Rhett and Link's Book of Mythicality.
You can read?
I was just going to say that. You beat me to it.
Yes, I can. And this book is fantastic. I waited a long time for it, almost an entire year for it since they announced it, and I finally got it. And
the next joke is the book has pictures, right?
It does.
It's a pop-up book.
It does. All right. So let's get the synopsis of this book. So, thanks for turning over our book. You're obviously a curious person, which means you've already taken your first step toward achieving mythicality. Lucky for you, opening this book is even more rewarding than turning it over. Within these pages, you'll discover 20 ways to live a mythical life, including eat something that scares you, make a bold haircut choice, say I love you like it's never been said, and more. Along the way, you'll find, from Rhett and Link, embarrassing photos, important message from year 2075, a quiz that can help you determine if you should get a dog, a eulogy you can read at any funeral, grown-up merit badges to earn, and lots of helpful guides, charts, and activities to get you started. So, it's basically a book of how to live life to the fullest by Rhett and Link, and also their personal experiences. It's fantastic. It's already a New York Times bestseller. It was I think in the first few days that it came out. It's fantastic.
How'd they print something from the future?
They tell you how in here. So go and pick yourself up a copy of this. It's fantastic. I've already read it twice, and it's a great book, and I'm super excited. I'm
Cool.
glad that they actually made it out. They're doing something that's pretty funny, actually. I follow them on Instagram, and they did a tour. They had a thing called Tour of Mythicality, where they go around and do a live show. Mm-hmm. They're doing a thing where they're going to Targets and Barnes and Nobles, and they're just grabbing copies, signing them, taking a Polaroid photo, leaving it, and then sticking it a couple books back, and then being like, "It's at this Target or this Barnes and Noble. Go get it." And then people are like, yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Neil Gaiman's been doing that a lot, too.
I think that's really cool that they were doing that.
So is the James S.A. Corey with the Expand series, both of them.
Yeah. Which is
two people.
It's a great show, by the way. But
yeah,
Rhett and Link's Book of Mythicality, go pick it up. It's great. No, it's on Audible. Yeah, it is on Audible.
There you go.
So, yeah.
But Audible can't read you the pictures.
So, what are we talking about this week?
How do you read someone a picture?
Yeah, well, we're doing this.
It's worth 1,000 words.
All right, dead air. What are we doing, man? What are we talking about this week?
Well, as you guys might have known, EA made record-breaking history recently with the single most downvoted comment in Reddit history.
History?
Thank
you.
And it's because, what's the polite way to say that there are a bunch of money-grubbing arseholes that are terrible and deserve to burn in hell for all eternity?
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, that was it.
That's the polite way?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it's because there are a bunch of money-grubbing arseholes who are terrible and deserve to burn in hell for all eternity.
There you go.
All right, yeah.
And that's why they're still the worst company in the world.
The worst.
Are they still? I think they were last year, too, still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
3 years running.
When
champions back to back.
When the IRS has a better customer service review
than EA.
The IRS has better customer service review than EA and Charter Cable.
Which is sad.
Well, I mean,
it's really
the
sad.
IRS may be a giant pain to deal with, but at least part of the time, they give you money back.
Yeah.
EA has never given you anything back. They just take your money.
I never had
taking
a
my
hand
time, taking my money.
Never got a hand on anything.
Let me read the infamous post.
Yeah,
read the precursor first
from the EA community team. That's what I'm saying. The actual downvote.
But are you gonna read the precursor because it's a comment to an original post?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can't read
first.
the original post.
Even with some
context,
liberal censoring.
Okay. Oh, all right. The original title of the post is seriously, I paid $80 to have Vader locked. This is a joke. I'll be contacting EA support for a refund. I can't even playing effing Darth Vader. Disgusting. This age of microtransactions microtransactions, quote unquote, has gone way too far. Leave it to EA, though, to stretch the boundaries.
Yeah.
So that picked up a lot of following. There were a lot of reposts, a lot of people talking about, because people were agreeing, you know.
Yeah, they have been for a while.
If I pay $80 for a game, and he obviously bought the better
Deluxe
version,
edition or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, the whole.
then I
crap
deserve
edition.
the entire game.
Yeah, you should. Essentially,
You know what I mean?
I think if you pay that much for a freaking game, you should get it all.
Yeah. So it takes 40 hours to unlock Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader each. So 80 hours total of playing
I couldn't play that game for 2 hours. First off,
to unlock them.
so 80 hours. I don't know.
And then, so someone did the math, and the time it would take to unlock everything in the game comes to 4,528 hours or $2,100 if you want to pay for it.
Oh my gosh.
How many hours?
4,528
4,528. You guys keep going. I'm gonna figure that out in
times
days.
60 is because 525,600 minutes is how many minutes there are in a year. So divided by 60.
Yeah.
What?
So no, yeah, he's
No,
no, that's no, he's
Yeah.
not doing anything. He's being accurate. It would take you almost a year.
So then the EA community team on
It
Reddit
comes out to 188 and 2/3 days of
So,
non-stop playing with no sleep.
Almost, so over a third of a year.
Yeah.
So 4 months it would take you of nonstop gaming.
Wow. That's
So
a lot.
then-
That's oh my god.
27 weeks.
And EA thinks that's
Non-stop.
fine. That's
Yeah.
the thing. EA,
So
like,
EA
yeah, that's fine. People will go for that.
EA
That's fine.
replied, which was
Their first mistake.
incredibly stupid.
Their first mistake.
Never reply.
Yeah, don't reply.
Don't reply.
Let it go.
There's
Just
no response you could have given.
Stick to your guns.
There's no
You made
response
it. Let
that
it
they
go.
could have given that wouldn't make them look like either A, idiots, or B,
Money-grubbing arseholes who are terrible and deserve to burn in hell for all eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And guess which one their comment made them look like?
B?
Let me
Was
read
B?
it. Let me read it, and then we can decide.
Yeah, this
All
is the
right,
comment.
All right, cool.
So the EA community team, which is the handle of they have on Reddit, quote, "The intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for cost, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll
What,
be
from the
making
IRS?
constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course, attainable via gameplay. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community has put forth around the current topics, here on Reddit, our forums, and across numerous social media outlets. Our team will continue to make changes and monitor community feedback and update everyone as soon and as often as we can."
We're EA and we don't care about
Hey,
you.
hey, you know what, though? They've got a point. If
EA,
I played
shut the hell up.
27 weeks straight without sleeping or anything at all, that's totally attainable.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember that video I guys showed you? Internet service. You'll hate it, and there's no other choice.
It reminds me. It reminds me of. I don't know if you guys remember on the Dave Chappelle show when he was doing like the employee training video for the copy place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And he's
yeah.
like, some people might ask us, why do we do this? Why do we treat our customers like such pieces of crap? Because F them. That's why.
Seriously.
So
EA don't care. They're like, we already got their money.
Within
What are we gonna
24
do?
hours, it became the most downvoted comment in the history of Reddit.
I think also because Reddit users and just whoever in general just saw, oh, it's EA, downvote. I don't even want to read it. Doesn't matter.
No, undoubtedly there was a cascade effect.
Oh, there was, yeah.
But right now it's sitting at like negative 700,000.
Yeah. The Reddit karma is really far down.
Well, the
comic
other
karma.
thing that they really totally screwed the pooch on
They just-
was that they commented. It was
Yeah.
not a new
Yeah,
post.
never
It was a
engage
comment.
the
It wasn't
troll.
like a statement.
Well,
it was
no.
a comment being like, hey,
It was
this
a
is what it is.
statement,
So
but
Hey, if
the
you don't
problem
like-
was
if you-
the problem with Reddit being it was a comment means that it wasn't a subreddit, it wasn't a post, it was easily attainable, and it could easily be linked.
yeah.
And as soon as it went viral, you probably had people who didn't even go on Reddit ever before go, oh, I gotta go bring EA down a few
Yeah.
pegs. Let's go
Yeah.
make some accounts. Downvote, downvote, downvote,
All
downvote.
right.
Oh, I
And
guarantee
we'll,
that
We'll
happened.
get more back into EA because they
Yeah.
had a response
They did have a response.
to that response.
Yeah.
But let's backtrack a little bit. Matt, why don't you go over with us kind of what is becoming the new trend in... It's been a trend in mobile gaming. Why did I say it like that? Mobile gaming. Mobile. It's been a trend in mobile gaming.
Mobile.
I don't know why I did that.
And cellular device
on our
games.
cellular network, when we
On
play
my mobile.
games on our mobile device.
I don't know why I did
We
that.
make games, I think.
On
Mobile
on
devices.
mobile games, mobile device games.
Yeah.
Like cell phone,
Yeah.
iPad,
Just mobile gaming.
tablets. Yeah.
It's really forefront.
It's
in
become a
mobile gaming.
trend, something that's called freemium gaming,
Yep.
microtransactions, play to win. So why don't
Yeah.
you just briefly?
Actually, I think play to win too is just like something that the community came up with.
yeah, it's just
'Cause that's
it's a
essentially what it
catch-all
is.
term for
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So why don't you
But
just
it is microtransactions is what it actually is.
Yeah.
But there's so many different terms.
why
for
don't
it,
you
but-
tell us just
So
the overview of what that is?
initially, further back, when you bought a game, you'd
In the
buy a game.
old times.
many moons ago.
Back in the
In
old
the-
day,
in the
when
before
my
time.
games didn't work and I blew into the cartridge.
It had to use AA batteries.
No,
Yeah.
When it was dark, I had to get the flip light attachment on my Game
Oh
Boy.
my god, I remember that stupid thing. Anyways,
So when you bought a game, you would go out, you'd spend your money, you'd buy the game, and you'd get a cartridge. When PlayStation came out, you'd get your disc. But initially, you buy a game, you take it home, you pop it in, and you can play your game. And there it is. That's your game.
That's it.
You got the game because
That's it.
you paid for the game. It wasn't too long after that there were games that were meant to be bigger, meant to last longer. And while the development teams were working on sequels and the following for the game was starting to drop off, they came out with expansion packs.
Yeah.
And this was the precursor to DLC, where you got something completely new added onto your game. And yes, you had to buy for it, but it did not diminish the game in any way. It literally added to it. It was something
I think-
completely new.
I think the first thing when I hear expansion pack, because it's no longer,
A thing.
yeah, it's no longer, in the general, what am I thinking of? Idiom.
Yeah.
It's-
Idiom, sir.
Idiom, thank you. Is Brood War.
oh,
StarCraft.
StarCraft Brood War, yeah.
That's
Yes.
to me, that is the quintessential expansion pack.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't so much an expansion pack as it was an entirely new game.
Yeah. And it still like stands as like that's the StarCraft Brood War. Brood War.
Yeah.
People don't even reference StarCraft 1 as StarCraft. They're just Brood War.
Yeah.
That's what it
It
was.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, that was an expansion
That was an
pack.
It
expansion
was. You
pack.
had to buy it
And it was
separately.
fantastic. I loved it.
And if you bought StarCraft, you did not lose anything from not buying Brood War.
Although I think technically the first ever expansion pack would be Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh yeah, they actually had a
Because on the
analog
Sonic and
physical
Knuckles
expansion
cartridge,
port.
there was a flip to the top. You could flip open the top. So you'd plug in the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge,
Yep.
Right.
you'd flip open the top, and then you could put in Sonic 1 or 2,
And
and you
play
could play
Knuckles.
Sonic 1 or 2 as Knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sick.
You
And
didn't
there
know
was
about
a-
that?
I did not know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then there was another one
That is
too.
super
I don't remember
cool.
what
I
other.
think that was first.
That
That was the
was-
first time
that
I've
was one
ever
of the-
heard of anything
that
like
was
that.
super,
'Cause
like,
that was,
innovating.
There wasn't anything
Yeah.
on PC that was really an expansion. There
No,
were
I don't think so.
sequels, like Doom,
I mean-
like Wolfenstein 2 was a sequel.
Yeah, I don't want to say there hasn't been any expansions because
I'm saying personally, that's the first thing that comes
that you
to
could
mind.
come to remind. Yeah, there was also that other one that they had where you had Sonic and Knuckles. I think it was 3 if you put it in. You could only play the special stage,
Yes.
which is where you collect all the bubbles. Yeah. That was the only purpose of it. But
pretty cool.
yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And then that was also how I think isn't that where the game genie came from too? Because then you could put that on top, and then
Yeah,
it would
the
just
Game Shark,
load
the Game
directly.
Genie.
And that
in.
was that was
Yeah.
how N64 got the.
Yeah.
top loader thing.
But
yeah.
Sega inventing expansion pack apparently.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well,
I would assume that that's right,
expansion
yeah.
packs eventually went the way of what's now known as DLC because the internet was bigger. You had connectivity. You could download, like you could buy a game. And while 10 years ago the internet wasn't as good as it is now,
Mm-hmm.
it might take a little longer to download. But the game files were also smaller. You could download a game straight to your Xbox.
Yeah, definitely.
So with that advent came DLC. Now your expansion packs you could buy off the internet and download directly in.
Problem with that is It's advertised as a DLC, but it's not.
Well, initially they were true DLCs, just like the expansion pack. But eventually it got to the point where every game had to compete with every other game. And so they planned expansion packs or DLCs in advance. When they're making the game, they already know, okay, we're going to make this and this and this DLC. So let's already prep it into our game, get it ready. We sell the game. Now, as soon as the following starts dying out, release DLC number 1.
See, to me, that feels like putting the cart before the horse. Another great idiom.
Idiom.
Because if you're developing DLC while you're developing the mainstay game, to me that feels like just content. Then.
Yeah. Well, you never played World of Warcraft, did you?
No.
Have you ever played? Okay, Matt,
I played it, but
okay, Matt, you played World of Warcraft since vanilla, right, or BC?
Since vanilla, but I stopped after Pandaria.
Okay, well, here's the one thing that if there was a company that I would say that does DLC or expansions correctly, it is Blizzard. Whether you like the games or not, when it comes to that, they do it right. So here's what they do.
I'm going
You say,
to...
well, let me finish.
No, just I will go on it later.
Okay.
But not all Blizzard games.
No, I'm specifically saying World of Warcraft.
Specifically World of Warcraft
specifically
does their DLC and expansion packs very well.
Yes.
But later on, when we talk about some of the stuff we're going to, I'm going to jump to a different Blizzard game who does do that.
Yeah. World of Warcraft, the way that they do World of Warcraft is, okay, Legion just came out last year, and the new one's coming out. So basically what will happen is the way the DLC
which is weird.
Should happen, DLC, is the expansion should come out. They label it as such. They said, this is an expansion, this is DLC for the expansion. It doesn't cost you anything. So you pay for the expansion.
Which is a whole new game.
But they regular
5 levels or 10 levels.
And a whole new storyline.
Right.
So it's an expansion.
It's a continuation.
And then they add, so they'll go, okay, when it drops, there's 2 raids open for the game. So you can play 2 raids. But then as months go by, they're like, DLC, here's another raid and another scenario, completely free. You already paid for the game. Right. You get the DLC. That's how it should be.
The way they do it is to progress endgame. They've already planned the fact that they're going to have 6 or 10 raids.
Yeah.
Only 2 are open. 2-3 months in, everyone's already beaten those several times, or at least the top guilds have. Open 2 or 3 more.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
They have it planned out for the year. They're like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to release this over time. But you don't have to pay for it.
Correct.
That's how it should be.
So why don't we continue then?
So this went the way of being able to buy expansion packs, and companies started trying to compete with each other and preemptively built DLC, which, as Stuart was saying, wasn't DLC anymore. They're making content for the game and not giving it to you.
Yeah,
and charging you extra later.
I think the most recent one was Arkham City, where it had day 1 DLC.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just didn't give me content then.
One of the original ones of that particular scenario was Destiny. The original Destiny. People glitched into a zone that wasn't available, and there was nothing they could do there, and it was basically nothing really happened. But the fact that the zone existed,
I didn't know what was happening.
In the code, and then was later on released as this is the DLC, meant that they had already built it into the game and then sold it to you later.
Yeah. Legitimately sold it to you later.
You bought a pizza, and you open the pizza box, and half of the pizza is covered. And you went, cool, I got my pizza. All right. And then later on, they said, hey, $10 more. And you're like,
pepperoni.
All right, cool. And all of a sudden, oh, it was in the box the whole time. What is this?
It was shaded. It was shaded gray.
Yeah.
So you knew it was there, but it wasn't unlocked.
It wasn't really unlocked.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
The day 1 DLC feels extremely.
Dude, day 1 DLC is so stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid. You know why day 1 DLC pisses me off? Because you pay for day 1, so you pay your additional $5 or $10 or whatever, and you get your day 1, and then 3 months later, it's available for everyone.
Well,
what's the point?
Let me continue my
So why don't you
history
tell us
real quick, and we'll go into DLC later. We will do that.
We will. But anyway,
we're going to go into that.
get to what play to win now.
The next logical step to that was being able to buy in the game. And it started innocently enough. There are a lot of games.
Seemed harmless.
There are a lot of games. I want to say Riot was one of the first ones, League of Legends. You could buy skins, which were only cosmetic, but every new character they came out with, if you wanted to, you could spend $5, $3, whatever, and make them look different in game.
Or 20.
There were some awesome legendary skins.
Even 10 years ago, EA was doing exactly what it was doing now.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, because we have the Madden tournament. So I don't know if you guys know how like the Madden team works, where you unlock new players and cards and so on and so forth. So Madden, before was like, oh,
the show does that too.
Yeah. Initially, they were like, oh, you have to play to unlock them, and that was your Madden Ultimate Team, and that was how you played competitively.
Oh, you had a sense of pride and accomplishment for putting it. Okay.
So then EA was like, oh, well, we're going to change it so now you can buy cards. And so all the competitive Madden players were like, okay. Cool. No, they were pissed because they're like, well, what? We played and we
put time
earned those cards.
Oh, yeah.
And now you're just going to like let anyone
just buy them?
Buy them? Like, how is that fair to us who have put in the time and like we're competitive? Because the Madden Ultimate Challenge is huge.
Yeah.
Last year, we were watching it all at our separate houses. Like those guys
are nuts.
Insane.
Audible.
Yeah, those guys are great.
It's fun to buy
But they all played hours and hours and practiced in order to unlock all those legendary players.
Right.
So this whole idea was like, oh, well, you can be really good or you can be really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it led into being able to purchase
play to win
in-game. And it started out innocently enough, and eventually it got to the point, and as Stuart was saying with his mobile device, there were a lot of games that opened up where you could spend real money to get in-game items that would mostly just boost you to go a little faster.
They'd break the game.
They really do. But it's just to make it go faster. It doesn't make you any better than anyone else. You just get a little jump ahead. But as soon as somebody wants to spend $500, that little jump is a big jump, and everyone gets left behind. This was really only a deal with mobile gaming, though, until recently, when some companies who shall remain
anonymous,
I'm going to say Ubisoft. Ubisoft did this with Assassin's Creed.
Completely
for
named.
years.
We're going to
For years
call
they
it.
did this.
Shots will be fired.
Ubisoft did it. Oh, well, you can do all this monotonous and boring missions that like feel exactly how we designed them to feel, boring and monotonous.
Daily quests in WoW.
Or,
oh my God.
Or you can give us more money and skip all this and get the things you need.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I'm sorry, I forgot. Didn't I already pay you for the game? Why where are you coming? You're coming back for another shakedown.
Yeah.
You know what I
Double
mean?
dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I already paid protection. Now you're going to come in and demand a second payment in the same week? Come on.
You need equity.
Yeah.
Best one I've seen is a picture of Mary and Pippin. And they got EA logo faces. And it says, well, we've had your first $60, yes, but what about second $60?
Which brings us to another recent game by a big company, Monolith, that I was very surprised that apparently they have no scruples either. The new Shadow of Mordor sequel, Shadow of War, which
is fantastic.
Oh, the original is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
And it was a game that was made on a relatively small budget. Like it was their secondary team. It wasn't really, kind of flew under the radar.
It was practically indie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because it was such a great game, it blew up.
It was a huge
became one of the top sellers of the year.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, why wouldn't we make a sequel? People want to keep playing in the Lord of the Rings universe. It's a whole new story.
I have a cash cow. Let's milk it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not mad at that. Like, this is what we wanted. We wanted a sequel game.
Yeah.
What we didn't want was loot chests. Oh, well, as a player, you can do these incredibly boring and mundane tasks for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Or you could give us more money. Anytime a mobile
Obviously
game,
more money.
anytime a mobile game, or now like what I guess we'd call AAA game, like a console or PC game, has two different in-game currencies, you know that it's a shell game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, this is the Mirian is what you use to buy stuff, just in-game. But the gold, you can give us real money for gold, and that'll unlock the things you need, like items and upgrades. And they set up this system where they're like, oh, well, you get gold at certain milestones, but
So after
nothing,
you complete the whole game, you'll have 100 gold.
Yeah.
Or give us $5 for 500.
Exactly. But nothing.
So what does the 100 get me?
There's no drops.
Nothing.
There's no drops in game for gold.
No, there's not.
So you can't like, oh, I'm gonna go, mine orcs, kill a bunch of orcs to get gold.
Yeah.
No.
Even if it was like 1 gold per 20.
Yeah. No.
No, it's not there.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So I have to grind out with extremely repetitive and boring gameplay, which was designed that way on purpose to incentivize you to give us more money.
Yep.
And I imagine it's very similar to the Mass Effect crates where the Mirian that you're talking about, you go do a quest, you get 2,000 Mirian, and the crate you want is 100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I've learned.
So you're doing that 50
okay.
times.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about real quick because you were talking about how like there's 2 different currencies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the games that frustrates me, I actually stopped playing it, and I was playing it pretty religiously, was Clash Royale.
I would say mobile game. It was going to be Clash. Yeah,
Clash
I saw
Royale.
you play
Not
that.
Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. Well, even Clash of Clans.
That was always a cash cow.
Yeah,
That was just-
but dude, if you want to say that a game, any mobile game does it that way, those 2 games are like at the top, like legitimately.
I think
like
the other one is League of Champions, the Marvel game.
Oh yeah,
That
don't you
one-
play that?
Oh, Contest of Champions.
Contest of Champions.
Yeah.
Don't you
that
play
one?
that?
I
Okay,
did play it.
so just quick story, and then I'll come
I
back.
spent
to
no
it.
money
okay.
on it.
I was the first one of our group of friends to start playing it, and when I played it, it was completely different. You couldn't buy things. You couldn't give them money.
Right.
Like it was just a free fighting game where you could fight with cool superheroes. I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's like a free game that doesn't want my money, and
Yeah.
it's like really fun and simple to play. And I would just for hours and hours and hours play it, and then eventually like all of our friends and coworkers were playing it too. And then once they got enough subscribers, then they started instituting
The
money.
microtransactions.
Oh,
Yeah.
now the contests, because you'd have weekly
Yeah.
and daily like challenges, and like whoever got the highest rank got the cool,
Whatever the hell,
ultimate
yeah.
version of Spider-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like before, when it was just myself playing and there wasn't an ability to buy things, like I would do really well. And I would unlock a bunch of cool stuff.
Before, it depended on 2 things. Number 1, skill. And number 2, who was willing to stay up the latest and the longest and spend the most time in the game
Yeah.
to keep
But
playing.
that makes sense to me. Like effort and time should be
Right. Those
rewarded.
were the
Rewarded.
driving factors. Once they introduced money, you could spend credits to refresh your heroes instantly and be able to keep fighting.
Yep.
So the time wasn't an issue anymore. But credits cost money.
Yeah.
But if you've got a nearly full wallet,
And
give me more credits so I'm on top.
And then after that, they introduced the loot system. But they have like crystals. Like, you buy crystals with credits you can either grind to get, or you can just pay us money.
Yeah.
And you get a randomized thing like, maybe you'll get something
Maybe
cool.
you'll get someone
Yeah.
cool.
But, like-
you're probably not. But you might.
The
Yeah.
percentages, because I don't think like they would rate the characters like how strong they were by stars. And like when I
Score. Yeah.
yeah, when I stopped playing, they had just come out with 5-star characters. But like the 4 stars were the ultimate characters. And I don't think you ever got a 4-star.
I got 1
He got
while you were
one.
playing.
Yeah.
And the rest of us just kept like, it was luck of the draw because none of us would pay
1
money.
here, 2
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I
Well, that's
think
how it
he
is.
had like 8.
Clash
Yeah.
Royale frustrated me. I think Clash Royale frustrates me the most because for anyone that plays that game, I got really, really high in that game. Like I got really high ranking in that game. And what frustrated me though is I played the game legitimately, got all my cards and everything. Like, I didn't really pay for anything, like, at all. The way that the game works, though, the reason why it's frustrating is because you can play the game if you win some matches, if you like take crowns from your opponents. If you get 10 crowns, then you can open a chest that's got like a bunch of cards in it. Problem is,
you can pay for crowns?
No, you can't pay for crowns.
Oh.
There's different chests in the game that give you different cards. You want the legendary cards. That's what you want. There's only a few of them in there.
Sure.
You know, out of all the cards that they have, and they're extremely hard to get. You can't get them out of the free cases. You can't. You cannot get a legendary card out of there. What do you have to do? Got to pay money for a chest that can drop a legendary.
And
see, at least
but you just pay to buy 10 of those, and then you suddenly have 3 legendaries. Then you come into like my tier and wreck face.
We got so deep into Contest of Champions that at work with our boss, we were watching YouTube videos of people opening like 900 chests at once. Like, yeah, they still do that.
Still do.
That's nuts.
Yeah, we still do.
Because you'd find some guy be like, "Oh, I have disposable income. I'm just going to pay, one guy we played with, he was paying $1,000 a week.
On that game?
Up.
On the mobile game. I'm not kidding.
No, he was. Because
not joking.
You'd look at his team.
1,000?
You'd look at his team.
A week.
You'd look at his team because on the thing you could like
that dude's
see.
Poor AF.
No, he's rich AF.
All right, well, that dude's got no life AF. Oh my gosh, really?
You look at like, oh,
wow.
Because he wouldn't be on for like a couple days at a time, but then you'd see his team and it'd just be like 4-star everything, just like every single character. As soon as it came out, he just kept buying until he got it.
That's nuts.
And so he was just like, you couldn't fight against him. Just his team was so broken.
He's keeping that company up.
Yeah,
He's the reason why that company's servers are working still.
Well, okay, and here's the
Damn,
argument.
are you serious?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that's
nuts.
terrible about that. I brought in the Mass Effect thing earlier, and I think that their crate system is, I don't want to say acceptable, but acceptable in the sense that that game was a PvE. Players were versus the computer. Whereas every other game that's like the Contest of Champions is PvP. So if you're on top and you want to stay on top, and number 2 is throwing dollar bills to get what he needs to get above you, well, crud, now I got to throw dollar bills to get back on top.
Yep.
And meanwhile, number 3 is doing the same thing.
Yep.
And you've got an endless cycle of whoever wants to be on top is just throwing away
Basically,
money.
if you want to become a millionaire fast, just make a mobile game and make it all microtransactions.
Yeah, I mean it's
fastest way to become a millionaire.
They took the model of Major League Baseball.
Oh yeah,
the team with the most money usually wins.
Yep. Well, that's the thing about Clash Royale too. Is what I was going to say too. Is that there's different currencies. You have just gold, like regular gold, and then you have gems. Gems are what can be spent to get the
really good stuff.
The crates, the chests.
But you have to buy those with money.
But you got to buy the gem. Like, you can get lucky. Maybe, like, you'll get, like, 2 gems. But a crate's, like, 500 gems. So you're like, oh, I'll spend $5. You get... I love what they do, too. They go, 500, but for this weekend, you get an extra 100 for $5. So you're like, oh, and then you do it, and then you get a crate, and you get nothing.
The thing we've noticed, and we noticed about Contest of Champions, and then we started talking about it. And then they stopped. Like, I think other people started to notice it. We would all play, like, we'd be in our conference room, and instead of working, like, there'd be 6 of us playing.
Yeah.
Just sitting next to each other.
Not on the clock.
Yeah, we were.
I still work there.
I don't care.
Not on the clock.
Our boss on the clock watched and was playing with us. I don't care. Burn it down.
But you know what's funny about that?
And then we noticed that, like someone would get a store notice, like, they're trying to like get me to buy, like, there's a sale. Like, I'd be like, there's a sale. Like, if you pay the same thing, like, you get a bonus. And so our boss was like, I need this. I'm just going to give him $5. And he'd go to his phone and he wouldn't have the sale.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So they were targeting because he was actually working and we were just playing with him in the room.
Right.
So it was targeting based on like amount of play. So they were having targeted
gosh.
advertisements, like targeted bonuses. Like
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
they stopped doing it, but
Pretty quick.
Microtransaction kind of rules the mobile gaming market, though. It really does.
It kind of.
And-
it owns the
and, like-
mobile gaming market.
yeah,
That-
free games make the most money out of.
Yeah,
Out of all mobile
yeah, they
games.
do. I've complained about Clash, both of them, Clans and Royale, and actually I've complained about Boom Beach too as well. It's another Clash
the same
game.
thing.
It's the same thing.
Like I played the
I've-
space version, and that was fun. For a
Yeah,
while.
that was actually fun. Or Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Did Angry Birds have microtransactions? I don't remember. Anyways, people will say, well,
I don't know.
they'll go, well,
Never actually played
it's gotten
Angry Birds.
better. Like, you get more stuff. And I'm like, just because you, like in Clash Royale now, people will say that, well, it's gotten better. You get more stuff now. It's like, yeah, you get more gold and you have more opportunities to get a chest. But there's nothing in the free chest. So you're getting more chests. So you're just constantly getting crap. That's it.
Okay, to throw it back
What-
to the,
what-
cons- the
it's
champions,
stupid.
It takes a while to grind up some stuff, but once you do, you get enough units or you get enough shards and you get to open a crystal. It's like, all right, cool, I'm getting a crystal. Could get a 2, could get a 3, could get a 4. I would love to get a 4. Let's see what happens. Let's spin this baby. It rotates, tick, 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 tick. 2. I knew that was going to happen.
So sad watching him do it because eventually we'd all be in the same room and one of us would get a 4-star and be like, oh, never Matt. Never Matt. He would save up like he's like, all right, I'm going to open
10 at once.
10 at once. Let's do this. No.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2.
And then I'd be like, I'm going to open up 1. I don't want to tell you what I got. You're just going to be mad.
I got to read this thing really quick and we'll continue. I want to remind everyone that this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Audible. Thank you, Audible, for supporting this episode of the Really Likable Geeks podcast. Audible has an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original shows, news, and more that you can listen to on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. For our audience, Audible is offering a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. We recommend to you Rhett and Link's Book of Mythicality, which you can keep even if you cancel. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/RLG and browse their unmatched selection of audio content. It is that easy. audibletrial.com/RLG. Again, that's audibletrial.com/RLG. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring the Real Likable Geeks podcast. I nailed that one, boys.
And next time you say that, do the wrist flip.
I thought about it.
Nailed that one, boys.
And actually, it's funny with Clash Royale, like I was saying about that, is another game that I stopped playing, which was another card game that
Was it free?
Yeah, it is actually.
Speaking of free
Freemium.
It's Hearthstone. Hearthstone's the same way. Hearthstone, I can't like you can do quests to get stuff, but
Steve,
what
who makes Hearthstone?
Blizzard? Yeah,
I told you I was going to jump on this later.
yeah. But they like you can do quests to get like gold and whatever to buy a pack, but like you could play all day and get one freaking pack, or you could spend $5 to get 5 pack or one. I don't know. It's
Hearthstone,
stupid.
Hearthstone is like Blizzard's version of Magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Well-
the thing. When you open a pack, what are you going to get?
Crap.
You might get something good, right?
No,
It's possible.
I mean it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
It's
it
the
is
what if
with
factor.
every other.
It's the what if factor.
this time will be different.
Yeah, that's the thing about
It
World of
wasn't.
Warcraft or Hearthstone is what you were saying about it being like it's
It's
definitely
gambling.
gambling.
No, that's
Totally is.
exactly
It's
what it is. It's
100% gambling.
Yeah, what you were saying about it, like it's like the equivalent of Magic the Gathering. Blizzard had a World of Warcraft trading card game. Hearthstone is the one that took its place. So
Oh.
they had a physical trading card game, which was amazing, and they're like, digital, and then we'll just make people pay for cards, like digital currency. It
Okay.
sucks.
I
Sucks.
have no investing.
I
in
just
this.
that's microtransactions. It's there, but you know then there's microtransactions I think that are okay. Matt and I are subjects to microtransactions on a wonderful game called Rocket League. We just can't help it.
Aren't they like cosmetic? though?
They're totally
That's the
cosmetic.
thing.
Oh, they're
That's-
only cosmetic.
They're only
Only
cosmetic.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you still got to be good
That's
at that
perfect.
game.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like that.
That's
I prefer
good.
that.
Yeah, it's
Your
good
rocket boost
microtransactions.
I'll say
It doesn't
the,
go any faster or any slower.
It just
But it
looks
looks
cool.
different.
Yeah, it looks
Oh, that's cool.
Depending on what you decide to
that's
unlock.
one
I
thing.
spent so much
If
money.
there
I have
was
to.
one,
It's embarrassing.
If there was one positive thing about the garbage infested rat pit filled with what are
Rats?
what are those chuds? You know, the people. Yeah. So
know
just
what
think of a giant hole in the earth. It's filled with rotting garbage and rats and chuds. just in a constant battle of supremacy of this garbage pit. That's League of Legends. If there was one positive thing about that, it's that it's free and the only thing you can buy is cosmetic.
Yeah. Yeah, League of Legends all cosmetic.
Everything else is terrible about it, though. League of Legends is garbage.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny?
Wait, is that pit the
No.
basement?
League of Legends
Is that pit?
no. There's a
see where you're going.
pit,
Yeah.
and there's garbage in the pit, rotting
Okay.
garbage.
That's League of Legends.
No.
Oh.
Then there is rats and chuds fighting for supremacy,
Over the garbage pit.
eating each other
Yes.
in order to sustain themselves, to continue their eternal
Fighting.
struggle.
Yes.
Their excrement,
That's League of Legends.
that is League of Legends.
Got you.
Oh my God.
Well, I was just commenting because I'm pretty sure that pit you're talking about, that is the EA corporate headquarters.
Oh,
There you go.
that comes full circle.
So now that we're back there, breaking news as of, well, it's yesterday now. It'll be 4 days ago
Yeah.
when this airs. EA on their Twitter had another statement released.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, this is going to be good.
As we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear that many of you feel there are still challenges in the design.
At least 750,000 on Reddit alone.
We've heard the concern about potentially giving players under advantages.
Potentially?
And we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. Opinion. This was never our. So they have the text. They like made a whole post, and it's like
Yeah.
this first part was all in like little white text,
I have seen this.
and then the bigger part in the middle is like orange and like at least several times larger. This was never our intention. Sorry, we didn't get this right. And then in little white writing again, we hear you loud and clear. So we're turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this. And this is from Oscar
sorry.
Gabrielson, General Manager at DICE.
Wait, what? They
Backpedaled.
are going to turn off the ability to buy crystals until a later date where they have what did they write?
They want to. They're saying that they're going to fine tune the game.
No, they're going to turn off the ability to buy crystals until enough suckers fall for this.
Until
that
enough
they
people
got
buy
their
the game.
money,
Once
and
we've
then they're
hit-
going to turn it right back on.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Once we've hit enough sales of the game, once you've given us enough money, then we're going to turn it back on.
Yeah.
And then we're going to
Because
go right.
Screw you. We're EA.
Yeah.
Well, DICE in this case.
Yeah. DICE is the developer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Or publisher?
unfortunate
I get it.
because
No, EA is a publisher. DICE is a developer.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that they have to get swallowed up in this because
They
they
did
had
this
the potential.
hours before the launch. They said this.
Of course they did.
But for all the people who were in the beta and who get to carry their character over and already made a
None
bunch
of that
purchases,
matters.
None
doesn't
of that
matter.
matters, no.
The thing is that you can pay to have more powerful weapons.
Yeah.
You pay to be OP in the game.
Yep.
Like paying equals I have a better character.
Yes.
That means that you can either be exponentially more skilled, but in a just basic 1-to-1, all things being equal, the guy who pays is going to beat you every time.
Yep.
Because those are the boosts. Like I went through all
See,
of it. I'm not going to give
that-
them any of my money.
And that really, really pisses me off because I remember playing, I'm going to go back again to the Mass Effect 3. If you bought crates, you could unlock the, I don't know, Batarian Soldier. And you finally unlock the Batarian Soldier. And then you play him enough to get him up to level 20. And you buy enough crates and you unlock a certain type of gun and you get the same gun 10 times. So now it's a level 10 gun. If I played countless hours, bought my crates with the equivalent of Miriam, and got the Batarian Soldier and got the same gun 10 times, I am exactly on par with that guy. So yeah, he got there a heck of a lot faster, But when we go into battle, I'm the same as him.
Yeah.
What's not cool is if he's better because he spent money. That is entirely stupid, broken, and completely...
Asinine.
I can't say these words.
Yeah.
The other thing, I don't know if you guys like read a lot of in depth of how the drops and everything work. Is say you're just being basic, soldier. I got my blaster rifle and I've got the basic, thermal detonator, blah blah blah. Like just the basic soldier, not the sniper or whatever.
Right. I'm a stormtrooper.
So you're playing as a stormtrooper.
Yep.
And you're progressing the stormtrooper tree.
Sure.
Or the progression of experience, right?
Yeah.
So you would assume that the drops you get would pertain to the character you're playing.
Not at all.
Or at least...
No.
At least
No.
the potential.
Nope. The drops you're getting have a higher percentage of being
Useless.
not useful to the character you're playing as. Because there's 6 different, or how many different characters are there? I believe it's 5 or 6. So statistically, no matter which one you're playing, that's the one you have the least chance
of getting
drops for.
Sounds like Rocket League. Oh man, I got this decal for this car I don't have that I'll never get. And then you get it and you're like, crap, I got rid of that decal. Now I got to try for it again. And you'll never get the decal.
The only time I've ever gotten rid of the decals are when I trade them to you.
I put my hand down.
I know.
Stuart's
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to ignore that.
I'm so sorry.
The only thing that could kind of mitigate that
Okay, so let me
is
get
if
this
you
straight.
were able to sell the stuff you didn't want for credit to buy
Let me get this
crystals, which you cannot do.
Let me
So
get.
you
can't
just
do
have
that?
no.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let me get
course not.
this straight. There's, let's say, 6 different classes.
Yeah.
That you can be. You pick class number 1.
Mm-hmm.
You get a chest. The chest is now rolling a 6-side die, and if it rolls a 1, then it's useful to you. And if it rolls a 2, then it's useful for number 2, and so on and so forth. But you're only playing 1.
Yep.
Yep.
So you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting something useful.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's if there's 6 classes.
Yep.
If DLC,
Yeah. Of course.
EA, what are you going to charge us for that one?
So
Adds more classes.
60.
You have an even lower chance of getting something useful.
So that was the other thing is that, okay, so let's say you played the 40 hours to unlock a hero character. Let's say you just want
I
Darth
don't know why
Vader.
you would, but-
You want Darth Vader. You've been playing
That
40
guy
hours.
on Reddit wanted Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He paid $80 and didn't get him, so he's going to do
So you played
his 40
Pissed
hours.
too, though.
You played 40 hours.
Okay.
You got Darth Vader.
Okay.
Right? So now you think, okay, I got a hero character. Now I'm just going to wreck face. Because it's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I'm going to take out waves of
Hey,
stormtroopers.
I remember the original Battlefront when you were Darth
should.
Vader.
It
You
should be
destroyed
OP.
so many
That's
rebels.
the point.
You were just.
That's the point of having a hero character
Yeah.
with a bunch of just cannon fodder.
Right.
You destroyed
It's just
so
to
many
feel
rebel
like
troopers.
you're God.
That's the point of Battlefront.
Yeah.
Was getting the kill streak high enough where you could just like,
Is Starkiller in that one? In Battlefront 2?
I'm not sure.
They need to put Starkiller in there because
Yeah.
that pulled down a Star Destroyer.
Hey, you know what?
with the Force.
You know what that
like,
means? Another 40 hours.
Anyways,
Yay.
so say you finally unlock Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
You assume that he's gonna wreck face.
Yes.
Nah, he's level 1.
I would
huh?
assume he would.
No, he's level 1. You got to progress him up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're telling
So if
me
you fight
a
with
level
a guy,
20 storm rebel trooper, just a regular dude with a blaster rifle.
will destroy Darth Vader. Yeah.
I could take my E11, pew pew pew, and Darth Vader's just. Blah.
Did I just read something here right now?
The so say you played that entire 40 hours on one character, like just the basic stormtrooper.
Right.
That basic stormtrooper at the level is going to murk Darth Vader at his starting level.
I like it.
How does that make sense? Like, how is a balancing issue for a game? Are you like, yeah, stormtrooper's going to kick his ass? It's Darth Vader.
So wait, does that mean that because they stopped doing the, they said that you can get everything by game progression. Can you get Darth Vader by playing the game?
40 hours.
Yes.
That's only Darth Vader.
You want Luke?
If
That's
you
40
want
more.
to get Luke, that's 40 more.
Han? 40 more.
Yeah.
You can only grind for one at a time.
No, because you grind in order to get the star cards.
Oh my gosh, really?
Once you-
And
Okay,
you can
now
only
that makes
get-
sense.
you
Once
can-
you
and
play
they
40
cost-
hours, it's pick one.
Yeah.
He's unlocked. Back to 0.
Yeah.
I'm reading something here about the reason why I was asking is I'm reading something here about Battlefront 2, which is
for it.
kind of interesting. But who is this? Liana Rupert from comicbook.com. For those of you who don't know or don't remember me, I leaked a fair amount of information and did a leaks AMA a few months back. So a few months before the drop of Battlefront.
Sure.
Because of certain circumstances, I had to go silent for a bit. I'm breaking the silence because the systems put in place by EA are serious, screwed, and will ruin this game. Their good news, though, the constant negative press and consumer backlash is having an effect with the company, but needs to continue. It even increased. Please don't fall for their crap. They're going to make a passive-aggressive statement about the amount of post-launch seasons that will be decreased because of lackluster loot box sales in order to try and guilt people to buy boxes and get more content in the future. It's straight bullcrap. Do not buy any crates. I'm completely serious that this will help the game in the long run. All the, quote, free DLC will need to be bought with in-game credits. That means the new heroes, weapons, and yes, possibly even vehicles will need to be bought before playing with them. The prices are currently even higher than the base game prices. When I say it will only get worse from here unless the pushback is big enough, I will answer any questions clarifying anything that can.
Yeah, if you want
be
to fly in an
because of
X-Wing,
this issue. Let's see here.
you got to play, son. You got to unlock that X-Wing.
The current credit
Hey,
prices for things such as heroes
I
or
don't
loot
have to.
boxes is how it will be for launch. They didn't jack up the prices for people who had EA
I'm gonna
access.
buy that X-Wing.
Those are literally the current prices for everything in the game.
It's insane, right?
The comment thread turned into a thorough conversation about calling out publishers for growing trend of microtransactions and the way free content is being handled. It does go to show that there are two definitive sides to this argument. Those who are sick of the growing emphasis on microtransactions in gaming and those who really don't see what the fuss is all about.
So okay. So you think that okay, my business model is that I hate my end user.
Yep.
I don't give a crap about their money or their time. I'm just going to shake them down for all they're worth.
Yeah, you don't care about your consumer.
So
I want their money. That's
you
it.
would think
Yeah.
that okay, I'm going to give them the false sense of a deal. So we were talking about it, oh, you get a bonus, oh, you can buy, 500,
Buy our
gold.
$5 deal and you get 5% extra.
Exactly.
Buy our $10 deal, you get
So
10% extra.
Unlock Darth Vader for $10, but 15, you get Vader and Luke. You think they would have some kind of
Some kind of bundled thing.
They don't have any of
Yeah,
that.
it's so
They don't have
stupid.
any bundles. They're going to milk you for all you're worth. So when that article says it costs $2,100 in order to unlock everything, that's because you have to buy
Everything
separately. There are no bundles that you could purchase in order to lower the price. You got to buy all that stuff separately, son. Give me that money. Give me that green. We're EA.
I just read this article that puts what you were saying about the pizza. Imagine buying a new chess set. Chess is your favorite game. You also love Star Wars. It's a Star Wars chess set.
That's
Now-
awesome.
Now imagine playing your friend
That's
who's
pretty
paid
cool.
$200 for the random chance that his pawns obtain the board clearing powers of the queen. Plus his king looks like Darth Vader, and yours still looks like a scruffy looking nerve herder. You might get mad, or you might up the ante and spend a few $100 to even the odds. Now imagine you're both children. These are some of the questions that have been gripping the video game industry and controversy leading up to Friday release of Star Wars Battlefront. So that's exactly how it is.
Yeah,
you get a
it's-
big shiny game. He gets a big shiny game, but he spent more money, so his is shinier.
There's nothing.
It's so stupid.
There's nothing wrong with the gameplay. The gameplay is excellent. It's crisp. It's exactly what I wanted.
It looks super cool.
It plays fantastically. But
Oh my God.
if I need to pay you $60 for the product,
Yeah, why do they think that people that play those games make that much money?
This
Yeah.
actually was said. A player's ability to succeed in the game is not dependent on purchasing crates. Players cannot earn crates through playing the game. Oh, players can also earn crates through playing the game and not spending any money at all. That was from an EA spokeswoman.
40 hours
To be fair,
is how long it takes to earn a hero
technically
character.
speaking,
One.
she is 100% accurate.
She
However,
is.
what she is not mentioning is that after doing the math, you need to play 27 weeks with no sleep, no breaks, and no eating.
You better not go to the bathroom or get a donut.
No, just put on a diaper and intravenously feed yourself.
Because if you even have to decide to go change that diaper, you better pause that 27-week timer, son.
Yeah.
You're not done yet.
Colostomy bag. Yeah.
Oh,
so-
if you put it in fundamental terms, it's really the same thing. Kimberly Young said this. She's a psychologist and a
For
founder
what?
of the Center for Internet Addiction.
Oh,
She said,
all right.
I've heard of
She
Yeah.
said that basically what this is it's just gambling.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
No, you're 100% right.
Specifically with Star Wars has built a gambling system.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that's
It's a
happened
loophole.
with. It's the,
Yeah.
Oh, you
It's
want
a-
to talk about?
It's a
teaching
loop.
kids to
It's a
gamble.
loophole in order to get around international gambling
So
laws.
are the mobile games.
Yeah,
I need to-
Yeah,
no,
they
it's
are.
it's all the same dopamine
Yeah.
receptors like being activated.
Yeah,
Play this on my phone.
yeah. They let you play it on the phone.
Some mobile games are like that. I will say, like
Vast majority.
well, but to the gambling perspective, the Clash of Clans, not the Clash Royale.
Yeah.
That's not so much gambling. That's, do you want to stay on top? Then pay. Whereas, like with
But it's the same idea because once you're on top, then you have a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Dopamine and serotonin are
But
released.
I'm saying like the Marvel Contest of Champions or like Battlefront 2, legitimate gambling to the point of, all right, I paid my $5. I got a crate.
Yep, and then
Dink, dink. Oh,
last $5.
Put in 5 more. I gotta get what I need.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. This is not. I don't think any of us here are saying that gambling's wrong or gambling's immoral.
Oh.
I like gambling. Gambling's fun. It's really. I mean,
I love losing money.
No. I'm saying that. I'm not saying.
We're all a victim of it if you play any game that
Gambling-
has microtransactions
Okay,
for cosmetic
if
reasons.
I want to go
Has a
to
roulette
Las
system in it.
Vegas and play blackjack and gamble, I can enjoy that. But when I go to Las Vegas and
I
play
know I'm
blackjack,
gambling.
I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not playing a game and then subconsciously somewhere in the back, I'm gambling.
The other thing is that the pit boss isn't standing over my shoulder whispering like, "Oh, you're definitely going to win this time."
Yeah.
You're definitely. I'm aware that gambling is favored towards the house.
Yes.
Eventually the house is going to win.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. There's no one who's not aware of that.
Yeah.
Is that gambling is fundamentally set up in order to favor the house. Everyone knows that.
because if it wasn't, there wouldn't be casinos.
Exactly. I have a tangible product that I've won. Like if I win in
It's a
gambling,
one for one. You
I've
lose
won
money or you win money, or
But
maybe a drink.
what they're
or
doing
cigarettes.
what they're doing now with freemium games and all this loot crate BS is, oh, we're going to activate the same part of your brain that's, receptive to gambling and the winning and the whole, idea of like that sense of accomplishment. But we're going to pretend that it's not that.
Right.
And also, we're going to make it so that children can do it.
Yeah.
Because once we get you hooked at a young age, you're just going to keep coming back.
Yep. You want to know what the game that has the worst? We're talking about gambling now, I know, but it coincides with it. But the game that I think, and it's only because I've been exposed to it for so long and I understand it so well, is Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike has the worst gambling problem. If you don't know what Counter-Strike, it's an FPS game on Steam.
The game itself,
great.
though,
It's-
everything's cosmetic.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It functions kind of like Rocket League. When you get a crate, you spend $2 for a key to open that crate. The crates can drop in-game as you play. And you can also sell the crates on Steam for like 5 cents a crate, but you get them so much, you can end up like $10 by the end of the week if you play enough. But anyways, you spend $2 to open the crate, and a roulette system will go, and a bunch of skins will go by, and then it'll pick one. And if it's covert, which is red, then that skin could be worth hundreds in Steam currency. And Steam money, that game could be that skin could be worth so much money. A knife, almost thousands of dollars if you can get a knife, because they're so rare to get. But the thing is people on the internet, these players, these young kids too, figured out a way to go, oh, well, you can sell these skins on Steam, but it's just you're only getting money to spend on Steam. We should make these
I can buy more games.
websites to where you can gamble your skins away for real money. And there's 18, 16, 15-year-old kids who are getting their skins off of Steam, and they're putting them into these gambling systems, and they're getting skins, and then they're selling those skins on like a black market, basically, a third-party website, and getting real cash for it.
So
Are you crazy? And there's been tons of controversy. There was a streamer named Phantom Lord who started one of those websites. And dude was already a millionaire on Twitch. He was making so much money. He started a website, or was streaming him doing CSGO gambling, Counter-Strike gambling on this website. Then it came out that he owned the website, and he was fixing the matches to his favor.
So it made him look like he was winning a lot of money, but he actually changed the algorithm so he would win right then, and then changed it back to the normal gambling.
And he was
algorithm.
winning thousands of dollars.
But it was his money. He was taking money out of his right pocket and putting it in his left.
Yeah. And people would jump in and say, I'm going to put forth $100 of my skins. But 15 other people jump in there too, and some guy throws in $500, another guy $1,000 with the skins. So here comes Phantom Lord, and he puts his in too. Like, okay, there's this, and it rolls, and he wins. He gets everyone's skins, and then he gets to keep his as well. So he ends up putting $500 in. He gets $5,000.
All of this,
and he was fixing those to be in his favor, and it came out that he was like, "You on the website, and you were fixing them. We have screenshots of you messaging people saying that you're fixing them." And
because he's an idiot.
Because he's an idiot. But there's the thing.
He's a genius, but he's an idiot.
He was making millions, legitimately. He was doing this every day, hundreds of times a day, and he was trying to be clever with it. He would lose. He was, oh no, I lost, but like really, his loss was not that much, like 0.5%.
I think it's important.
Crap.
I think it's important that we.
But there's kids that do it.
That we clarify something really quickly. The really likable geeks are not against gambling or smoking or any of the adult things like drinking that you can do. This is not a morality trip. We're saying is that companies like EA and Clash of Clans and all these different video game developers are creating a system in order to get children addicted to gambling. That's the entire purpose of the system.
And I'm not
is to trick children into becoming addicted to gambling. That's it. There's no other way.
And to hook adults who are already addicted to it.
Yeah.
To keep them hooked.
Because we're not calling it gambling.
No.
We're going to call it something else. But in essence, it's the same thing. Like if you want to create a gambling game, go for it.
Yeah.
I am not against it.
Just make it a gambling game.
Yeah, there's tons of gambling websites.
There's a freaking gambling game that I have that you can play poker on. If you win, you can like legitimately win rooms in Vegas.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I'm all for
cool
that.
Cool,
I'm
actually.
really cool.
I'm all for that. I mean,
because then you could go to Vegas and play gambling games.
One of like my favorite people of all time is Chris Moneymaker. I don't know if you guys know a lot about the World Poker Tour, but like 10 years ago, Chris Moneymaker was a guy who played online poker on PokerStar.com.
I know where you're going with
Never
this.
played in person. He won the online tournament, got to go play at the World Poker Tour.
He got the right to go play.
Yeah, he won his entry fee, which is $10,000.
Okay.
So crazy.
First time ever playing with other people, like face to face.
Sure.
He wins the whole thing.
He smashed
$50 million.
Yeah.
It's great. Like it's a Cinderella story.
That's
it's
awesome.
it's fantastic. But at no time did anyone ever pretend that what he was doing was not gambling.
Yep.
Everyone understood that, hey, there's a chance you could lose this money. Like we're all adults. We all agree to that. Children don't have that faculty to understand, this could affect you later in life.
Yep.
Getting hooked on this as, before your brain's fully developed can lead to a dependency for the rest of your life.
Addiction, yeah. And it's bad.
It goes back on the parents.
It does.
It is. It is on the parents, but at some point you have to hold the people who are pushing it on children accountable. Like, yes, as a parent, you should be aware. And that's kind of like, I think what we're trying to do is educate people like, hey, you need to take a look at some of the games that your child is playing because they are designed specifically to get them addicted to gambling.
Yep.
And I don't think anyone would disagree with that. It's designed in the exact way that gambling is.
It is. It's sad. And unfortunately, with the video game, like we don't hate video games. We just hate microtransactions.
Oh, we love video.
Microtransactions are okay if it's for cosmetic purposes.
I would be so happy to go
Not
back
financial
to
purposes.
where I pay
And
$60 for a brand new game.
And you get the game.
I download it off of Steam and I play my game. And it's awesome. And then I beat it and I ignore it for 3 months. And then suddenly I get a thing popping up on Steam that says, hey, you played this game. Guess what? They're releasing more content. $5.99. I'm like, oh, let me go see what this content is. Oh, this looks like just new and different, but the same game. Sure. And it's a whole new addition to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's just like getting back in the saddle and playing again. This is fun. Without having to rely on payment in order to win.
in order to get to your end goal.
I read a comment that was just, it was the epitome of how I feel about this. 10, 15 years ago, if I didn't feel like I cared about my own sense of pride and accomplishment that EA has for me, I enter a cheat code.
Yep.
And I can play as the Millennium Falcon in Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Gotta
just break out the credit card here.
Yep, exactly.
That's how I'm going to input my cheat code.
It's all money now. Yep. And unfortunately with DLC too, what happens is DLC and microtransactions go hand in hand because there's microtransactions for a game and then the DLC comes out, which you buy, which gives you the ability to get more and new stuff that came with that DLC. So you're going to throw money at, you're going to pay for the new content, the DLC,
continue microing
and
into
keep
new
microing
DLCs.
yourself because there's new stuff that came with that DLC. It's so stupid.
Since this is the idiom episode, it's throwing diamonds in front of swine.
It's so stupid. It really pisses me off. It frustrates me.
I think one last point I want to make is something else that's been becoming extremely prevalent, and I disagree with it on a fundamental level. HD remakes.
Okay.
I feel like it's a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
It's the same idea.
Yep.
And
It's still dead,
some of them are
and
not
we're still
really
beating
good.
it.
specifically Final Fantasy VII.
Yep, we've had a
Which
conversation about
they
this.
have not in any way retracted what they said.
Nope.
Hey, you remember Final Fantasy VII? Well, we're making a remake of it. Cool. I will pay you $60 because that is one game.
No, episodic.
No. It's going to be episodic. What does that mean? Okay, well, you know how Final Fantasy VII was a complete game and you gave us money and then you got that game and that was it? We're not going to do that this time. Now we're going to cut the game that you've already played
Into chapters.
into chapters.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay us $60 for each chapter.
See, I'm not okay with that.
How could you be?
I know we talked about this on the podcast about like a few months ago about it. Where I was like, I want to play the games, but I'm not down with paying that freaking much.
$180. No, because it was 6 chapters, right?
Yeah, I'm not-
So $360
I'm not down with that.
for one game
I'm not down with
that
that.
I've already played.
Hey, it's better than 2100 for Battlefront.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, comparatively,
Oh, sorry.
it's better.
2160.
No.
You have to pay for the game,
Oh
too.
yeah,
You have to buy the game.
it's $2,160
Because you have to buy the game.
and that's if you get the basic scrub edition.
That's true. You
if
might
you
want
want the
the-
cool
The Holy Crap
art
edition.
book and the little mini figurine,
2220.
limited edition with the number on it.
Yep. No.
It's insane. to me.
Statue of Darth Vader. Oh,
It's-
but he's a
I
level
don't
1 statue.
And I don't want people to hear this and think that like we're being hypocritical too, especially me and Matt. I'm just gonna say me and you on this because I've legitimately spent hundreds of dollars on Rocket League. Like I have.
I have not spent hundreds, but I have spent a lot.
I've probably
We
spent.
all fall into the same trap. We're all human.
I have.
It's cosmetic.
I have paid.
I refuse
In Rocket
to pay
League.
to play.
Yeah.
I pay for cosmetic.
Yeah, I
Pay to
pay.
win.
Yeah, I pay
Yeah,
for
pay to play,
cosmetic
period. I refuse
because
to
I like the
pay
way it looks. It's cool, and
help my play.
and I actually, I think what it also comes down to is, do you support your developer? I support Psyonix.
Oh, heck
the guys
yes.
of Rocket League. They made
Heck
an
yes.
incredible game. So yeah, $5 for a skin, have it. Take
but
it.
that's with games that aren't free.
Yeah.
How I'm
Especially-
supporting you
and
is
here's-
by giving you the $60
And
for the
here's the
game.
other thing.
That's it.
I bought
like I'm
Rocket
not
League
saying
for
EA doesn't deserve money.
$19.99. Do you know what Rocket League did for me this last Christmas?
Oh, they did.
They unleashed a whole new stadium
Yep.
and a new game mode where the ball was now a puck and it slid and wasn't very bouncy, and it was hockey.
Snow
And it was
Day.
called Snow Day.
And it's fantastic.
It's amazing. I didn't have to pay a penny for it.
and then they came out with hoops.
Then they came out with March Madness Hoops, a game where you played basketball. I didn't have to pay a penny for it.
Yep.
A new patch came out this last few weeks ago with a whole new field.
And more. And a lot more.
Well, the crates were new, but
Yeah.
just without the crates, a whole new field.
Yeah.
Didn't have to pay for it.
We have not had to pay for updates
after
for
I
this
bought
game
the
at
base
all.
game, they give me stuff for free, and I give them money for cosmetics.
Yep. We paid them $1.10 for a freaking key for a crate.
$1 flat.
Yeah. Oh, is it $1? Okay, yeah. And we get a car, and it doesn't do anything. Our skill, we still have to put in the work for our skills to be good.
Yeah.
The car
I
does not
look
make
cool,
us better.
But if I suck,
Yep. And every
then
once
I
in a
look
while,
cool while I suck.
once in a blue moon, they'll come out with DLC. They'll say, "Hey, a new battle car pack. You can get the Batmobile if you pay."
Which is cool.
And it is cheap too. It's like $2. It's really
once again,
cheap
it's just
DLC.
cosmetic.
It's just cosmetic. So I'm like, yeah, $2, whatever.
So if
I could look
instead
great.
if instead EA had done something like, okay, we're not gonna have
I couldn't
we're not
justify
gonna
that
we're not gonna pay for we're not gonna have a pay to win system, but if you wanted to buy so there's the Stormtrooper skin where it's the Forest Trooper where they got the green
yeah,
camo, or the Snow Trooper, or
I'd pay for that.
The Imperial Guard.
or the Imperial Guard.
I'd pay for
there's
that.
no
That'd be
there's
so
no
cool.
there's no difference
in the gameplay.
in the gameplay.
You just look different.
You just look different.
I would totally pay for an Imperial
That's
Guard
fine.
skin. Yeah.
Like, I understand that you guys have a business model. You want to have a sustainability. You want to up replayability.
Yeah.
You want money.
I get that.
That's fair.
yeah.
But to come
You're
to
milking your
us
audience.
as the public, as the EA, as the development team that made the statement, to come to us with hat in hand, acting like EA and DICE are hard up for money,
Yeah.
and like, oh, well, we needed to put in this system in order to generate revenue. F you.
Yeah.
You are a multi-million-dollar company.
Mm-hmm.
You make hundreds of millions of dollars on Madden, MLB, NHL, all these games.
You have been voted worst company in the world 3 years running.
Yeah.
And yet you're still big enough to keep
Still
making big name games.
Yeah, FIFA.
You're obviously not hurting.
FIFA's huge.
FIFA makes more money than Madden
Yeah.
because FIFA has
FIFA's
worldwide implications.
FIFA is massive.
And you're going to act like you needed to put in this transaction gambling system
Yeah.
in order to fund the development of the game.
Yeah, right.
Don't give me that crap. That's so.
But
they
money.
act like they wouldn't have made money for a Battlefront game when that's the game that the community has been asking for over a decade.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Over a decade.
If you
the
asked
two
any
most
gamers
popular games
what
are
they wanted to be remade, Battlefront
and
and Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
That's what they wanted.
Yep.
And you know who delivered?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
You know who delivered on a
Oh,
game
yeah.
that we didn't even really ask for, but after we got it was like, this is actually pretty cool. Blizzard with StarCraft.
Yeah. And now it's free,
Yeah.
And now it's free.
Now it's free.
which is amazing. That was a really cool. I went to BlizzCon. It was a cool announcement.
It pissed me off
Yeah.
because I already paid for
I
it.
know. No, I was the one that gave it to you guys.
I
Remember?
know. I
gave
bought
you
the first
I gave you
two.
the expansions.
Yeah.
I bought the-
was
I
it
bought the
Legacy
first
of the
two,
Void I
you
gave you
gave
guys?
us Void.
Yeah, and I'm like, great.
Yeah, I know. As soon as you said that, I was like, damn it. Damn it.
At the same time,
Could've gotten
though,
it
I was
free.
like, at the same time, though, I was like, yeah, Heart of the Swarm could have been free.
Yeah.
I was like, ah, dang it.
Wings of Liberty could have been free.
Yeah, everything could have been free. Yeah, I remember.
That's
sitting
really
and
cool.
going,
That's a good way to generate hype for your game because Blizzard's like, we're Blizzard. We have so much money. It's stupid. Let's just give away
stuff.
our greatest game
Yeah.
that we've made to date.
Is it Diablo 2 free, but not the Reaper of Souls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diablo 2's free.
That's amazing. Diablo 3.
I'm
free.
sorry.
Diablo 3 is free.
Diablo 2 is a bit older than that.
Yeah.
But Diablo 2
My bad.
is free, though, isn't it?
If you still have
believe
the
it
disc
is.
lying around somewhere,
Yeah.
No,
probably,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you can download it
I know.
from
Yeah.
Blizzard.
Yeah,
I know.
Diablo 3 is free, but I think
Because
Reaper of
Warcraft
Souls
is free as well. The
Yes,
original
it is.
Warcraft.
Yeah, the OG one, yeah. So, all
All right.
right, we need to wrap up.
Parents, look into what your children are playing because
Even
game,
especially
on
on
their
mobile.
phones.
Especially on mobile.
Especially
game
on their
companies
phones.
are trying
I see-
to trick your children.
I see so many people with their kids that they just hand them a tablet or a phone or something, and I'm like,
You
if
gotta
that's
be
your
careful.
game,
You gotta be
you gotta
careful.
watch it.
You gotta turn off those
just
in-app
watch-
purchases.
Just watch it. Not saying, and you know, if you're like, wow, I don't care, then okay, right on. But
And
I
I'm
mean,
not- I'm
if
gonna
you're
throw one
unaware,
more thing out
you
here.
might want to look.
I'm gonna throw one more thing out here, not to specifically target EA, but
Go ahead. I don't care.
well, no, but I'm saying not. I'm using them as an example because they are the prime one right now, but not to specifically target them. Don't buy into it.
Yeah,
it's
don't.
crap.
Yeah, it's crap.
Yeah.
if it's
I've-
pay to play or pay to win, get rid of it.
Do the numbers.
I told Joey.
Sit down and do the
I,
numbers.
I had pre-ordered Battlefront. I got my money back.
I don't blame you.
I'm not doing that. As soon as I heard it,
I refunded
went,
the first one.
As soon as
I
I,
don't want-
as soon
I
as
didn't want
If
the
you
Yeah.
want to pay
soon
for
as-
cosmetics,
As soon as I heard what
Dude,
it was,
go
I'm like,
for it.
no,
It's awesome.
You're not
We
having my
love it.
money.
Yeah.
I want a refund.
Nope.
The same thing with the
Shadow.
The
Of,
exact
Shadow of
same
War,
thing with
same
Shadow
thing.
of War.
Don't
I canceled it.
pay
I'm not giving
to
them money.
play.
yeah. Don't do it. Keep an eye on your kids. Careful.
It can
got
only
preachy
help
there
the
at the
gaming
end.
industry. Seriously, it can only help the gaming industry. Don't
Really
pay to win.
preachy.
don't do-
Geeks.
yeah. The really, really preachy geeks. All right, we're going to wrap up, guys.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
Yeah.
Calm down. All right, so you can find the podcast on iTunes and Google Play and also now on Spotify.
What?
Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm really happy that it's on Spotify. It was a lot of work, but it is on Spotify. Just search Really Likable Geeks on there, and you can find us. You can find all the social media links for Really Likable Geeks on our website, reallylikablegeeks.com, which will be down here in the corner.
Eventually, we're gonna be like just going door to door doing shows in people's houses. Like our goal is to get on every sort of platform.
Right.
A mobile
Oh, a
show. Thank you.
Mobile show. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at that Stephen Brown.
You can usually find me avoiding Twitter at Believe the Weave.
You can find me at Stu_no last name.
Thank you guys for listening to us rant and rave about microtransaction and DLC and other things alike.
And if you want to hear what we really thought, just a one-time easy payment of $19.99 will unlock the unedited version.
But you can get on Podbean.
Taxes and fees where applicable.
Yeah.
Void
Yep.
where prohibited. Must be 18 or older.
All right. Bye,
Kids, no,
everyone.
you don't. Buy our stuff. Bye, baby.